Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the April 7th, 2020 Supermoon in Libra, part 2 of 3. And in this segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit's possible impact on the zodiac signs Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. So first off, as far as Aries goes, the seventh house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could be a time where a Libra relationship may come to an end. Since we're talking about the supermoon, it might be one that's a little bit closer as in contrast to a regular full moon. It could be with a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that simply embodies Libra characteristics. It could be also where an unveiling or some disclosure or revelation of a Libra like open adversary may come into play. It may be, again, might be a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that embodies Libran traits, or it could be somebody in some Libra type profession, such as like an attorney or someone in human resources or in some art field. Now, also, since again, the full moons, supermoons in astrology can be about culminations, completions, and endings. This could be where a Libra type partnership may come in, such as like a business partnership. It could be something in some legal field or some art field, something with arbitration, or anything that may deal with some kind of negotiation. This could be also some situations. It could be a Libra form of competition might come to an end. If you were competitive in something Libra related, such as like a Libra like sport like tennis or badminton or gymnastics, where of course that involves equilibrium and balance, you may be looking at an ending as far as that goes, whether it could be attributed to a physical reason or what have you. And this could be something that might have more of an impact on you more so than a regular full moon. This could have been something that maybe you had been doing for a rather long time, and it just suddenly, just for whatever reason, you decide to have it come to a startling conclusion. Now, next up, as far as Taurus goes, well, the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, for Taurus, it might be about a self-revelation or being cognizant, in some cases, of an unbalanced diet, a diet that might lack some equilibrium. Taurus can often be very single-minded about what they eat, and they're not exactly notorious for going outside the box. I'm having this in my sixth house, so it's something that I have to be very aware of and cognizant of at this time. Now, it could also be about becoming more aware and more cognizant of having to express intellectual sociability in one's daily routine. Taurus is a little bit of a homebody, and some in a very negative manifestation could almost be everything but a hermit. Taurus can really be very reclusive. I know something about that, again, having a Taurus ascendant. So it can be an adjustment period, especially if you're having this, making an inconjunct aspect to your Taurus ascendant. Now, it could also be where a Libra health-related issue may be disclosed or revealed at this time. It might be something connected with the lower back, or something with the kidneys or the buttocks, and it may be something a little bit more serious than the typical full moon, because we are talking about supermoon energy. And it could also be about ingratiating oneself more so with others, more so in their daily routine. It could be about a time where Taurus might decide where they need to be of service to others and trying to appease others a little bit more that way, more so than usual. In some cases, it could be the completion or culmination of a Libra like employment, such as something with human resources, or something with negotiation, working as a diplomat, even I would say writing in some cases, because Libra energy can be about literary ability. It could be something with art, such as fashion or graphic arts design, anything that could be Libra related, working as a chiropractor, because that could be something with the lower back. So anyway, Well, as far as Gemini goes, the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Gemini, there could be a strong, full supermoons in astrology can be about declarations. This could be a time where Gemini might be making a declaration to themselves, as far as having more balance in terms of their enjoyment in their life. This could be about something where a verdict, at least figuratively speaking, that verdict is rendered regarding a loved one. It could be a romantic partner. It could also be a child in some cases, since we're talking about the fifth house. And since we're talking about supermoon energy, this could be something that could be a very important decision. Keep in mind that Venus is transiting Gemini at this time as well. So it's like that torn between two lovers thing, like the song by, I believe, Mary McGregor. It might be a time where a decision might be made in some cases regarding going with one lover as opposed to the other. So anyway, some cases this could be about a Libra like hobby that might come to an end or a completion, or something that's Libra related that's fun, amusing, and enjoyable. It could be something simply as like a Law and Order board game, or it could be some kind of it could be something else like a Libra like sport, since we're talking about the fifth house, such as I explained earlier, like badminton or tennis or even gymnastics, because that requires a lot of equilibrium and balance. And it could be also there's also a game called Codename Duet, where it's a game where you kind of team up with a partner, which is Libra related, to solve something. So anyway, but I'm barely being a little flippant there. But anyway, people. Well, as far as Cancer goes, the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Cancer, well, this could be a time where it could be where a reconciliation might finally take place in a home-related matter. It could be with the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. It could be just a prominent family member or someone you simply feel close to home with. It could also be a time when you're talking about full supermoons in astrology, they could also be about revelations and unveilings. So this could be where you might have a self-revelation about some Libra-like qualities you may have at the core, such as being very diplomatic. You might find some artistic ability, some literary ability you might have not been cognizant of before, having more intellectual sociability than you thought you had previously, being more active as far as communication goes and intellectually in a cerebral level. And because we're talking about the supermoon, that could actually might have a very strong impact on you if you apply this to your everyday life. Now, and being more refined even than you might have thought you were previously. Now also too, since we're talking about revelations and unveilings, it could be about a discovery that is associated with one's roots or ancestry. It could be where you might make the startling discovery, revelation regarding a family member that might have had some issues with the law or some legal problems, might have had a very extensive criminal background that might come into play at this time, or maybe that somebody simply wasn't being fair to you, and it might be on a large scale, because this, again, we're talking about supermoon energy, and I think when you're looking at supermoon in astrology, the impact can be at least a little bit stronger on average in contrast to a regular full moon. Now going to Leo. Well, for Leo, the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. When you're talking about super full moons in astrology, it could be a time where one becomes tired, full, and very exasperated at something. It could be something where at this time, when you have the moon in Libra, it's about really when you're talking about this being exasperated over something, it could be about not receiving accolades for something, being overly reticent for too long. It could be where maybe, especially you're talking about Leo, maybe it has something to do with not getting enough recognition for something connected with some communication or writing or local transportation, such as maybe running errands for people. It could be some issues might come to light as far as a local transportation issue goes, such as with a vehicle. It could be something connected with some alignment issue with the car. We're talking about Libra, and of course corresponds with balance. It could be some wheel balance or some uneven tire situation. It might be a little bit more serious than something with the typical full moon, because again, we're talking about supermoon energy. Hold on a moment, people. And in some cases too, this could be about a Libra type writing that might come to an end or completion at this time. It could be something connected with love or romance or art. It could be teaching somebody how to draw, for example. Uh, it could be something connected with graphics art design, fashion designing, something with the law. It could be just anything that might be Libra related, a Libra like sports, such as writing about gymnastics or badminton or even tennis in some cases. So, anyway, well, last but not least, well, for Virgo, the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Virgo, well, this could simply be the ending of some Libra like money making venture or endeavor. It could be ending some job like with human resources or working as a marriage counselor, something connected with art, which could cover a wide divergence of things such as drawing, painting, sculpting, fashion design, graphic art design. It could be a situation where where it might be a time where you finally become more cognizant about balancing the budget at this time, or there might be something that which lacks some equilibrium or fairness in a monetary situation where it was like it was all take and no give, and maybe you finally unleash those emotions and expressing that at this time. It could be where a relationship might come to an end that might have been strongly impacting your self-esteem and self-worth. And since we're talking about supermoon energy, it may be a relationship that might have gone on for a little bit longer, more so and on average compared to a regular full moon in Libra. Now, also a legal settlement in some cases might come to an end. I mean, I think with the supermoon in Libra, I see a lot of situations of a legal nature coming to an end, more so than average at this time, or at least people will be more cognizant or have more comprehension and understanding at this time of a legal situation they may be embroiled or involved in. And since we're talking about the second house energy, it could be something which really has a strong impact on one's monetary situation, more so than an average legal situation. So anyway, and also, too, looking at this could be a time for Virgo where there might be some unveiling or revelation of to themselves, or being more cognizant of some Libra-like talents. It could be where you might find yourself, for example, where you feel you might be more proficient in art, for example, or some issues with, or some connection with the law, have more literary ability than maybe you otherwise were aware of. It could have been some talents or abilities that might have been latent, or they might have been dormant for some time, and maybe now they're starting to come out. And also too, this is also a period where at this time as well, you might be also self-aware regarding how relationships might be play an integral role in your self-esteem and self-worth, how you feel about yourself. If this was something where you weren't aware of previously, this could be that time where this is considered this a super moon in contrast to full moon. This could have very powerful impact on you. It might make a turn for the better in a lot of cases. If you've been somebody that's been limiting your relationships, this could be a time where you become more aware that relationship situations might be very good for you in terms of bolstering how you feel about yourself at this time. So anyway, and something that you might value more as well, since we're talking about the second house Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Stay tuned next time where I'm going to be talking about the April 7, 2020 Supermoon in Libra, part 3 of 3. And in that segment, I'm going to be talking about how the transit can have a possible impact on the zodiac signs Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And yes, it will apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.